Hello, and welcome to another video. Last week, as you might have noticed, I didn't upload anything, and that is because I had a lot of stuff to do. A lot of stress about getting some documents and keep up with the Norwegian consulate. And instead of stressing and uploading a video that I wasn't really okay with, I instead compiled the 2 weeks into this video. So I hope that you will enjoy it, and it's gonna start off by me traveling to school, where I will have some different exercises such as safety on board of a ship and how to drive a lifeboat, and some simulation exercises as well. As for this exercise, we were going to navigate through the waters outside of Kalmar. All the groups were 2 on the bridge, while I was alone in my bridge simulator. This was because someone being sick and therefore being not allowed into the simulation. To get my position, I looked at the GPS, which was on the bridge, to get my coordinates, and the gyro compass to get my heading, which helped me to predict which way I was going. And with that information, I could therefore locate my position on the map. And what you have here is a digital version of the sea map. As I planned the route, I prepared the ship's course by dialing it in the system with the ship's desired heading in degrees. And when I needed to change the course, I simply pressed the set button, which was next to the lever, where I dial it in. This was so that I could do other tasks while waiting for the ship to get into the desired position before changing its course with ease. During this time, I looked around into the Kalmar to see some different landmarks, which I have biked past quite a few times, which you will see a bit later. Another thing I did was to talk to my teacher, who came in to see how I was doing on my own. As he saw I was doing quite well, and he started to teach me how to use the radar to be able to locate myself on the paper sea card. The trick he taught me was using distance as well as heading on a lighthouse or another watermark to find my position on the sea card. I have also gotten my internship on a Swedish flagged ship, which is classified as an oil chem tanker. The plan at this moment is that I will be on the ship close to 80 days if everything goes as planned. As I discussed this with a friend, he came up with a bright idea to make it into some kind of documentary of how interns have it on board. I will try to film my thoughts of being there, the work, food, crew members, and the experience as well, which will be very fun to make as well as look back on later on. But since it is an oil chem tanker, therefore I won't be able to record on the deck, since the risk of the whole ship exploding if there is a leak in one of the pipes. I will talk a lot about the work I've done, and maybe even ask some of the bridge officers to record me from up there, since there is no explosion risk there. Well, we'll see when I get there, but either way it will be a really fun experience to have. After navigating through the waters close to Kalmar in manual steering mode, I decided to switch over to automatic steering again, since the error of margin is not as small anymore. I entered the new course, and then I was on my way again in automatic mode. After navigating through the Kalmar's water to go under the Ölands bridge, then the simulation was over and I had completed it with great performance, which is quite nice. The rest of the week was spent watching volleyball, eating and studying. I also had a test about gas tankers such as LNG and LPG tankers. The abbreviations LNG stands for liquid natural gas and the LPG stands for liquid petrol gas. Apparently the LNG tankers transports its LNG in a temperature of minus 160 Celsius. As the liquid heats up, it releases gas, which becomes the ship's main fuel. Later on the weekend I was going to my first volleyball tournament with the men's Kalmar's volleyball team. The journey there were through a lot of forested areas. There was even a deer which jumped in front of the car, so we had to brake hard to not hit it. There were a number of 10 teams competing to try to win the tournament, and we tried our best to keep our distances between the matches, and there was a lot of hand sanitizing as well as cleaning the balls after every game. And here you have a few clips from when I played volleyball. I am number 13.
Bra!
What a body shot I received there. Sadly, in the beginning I received some kind of lower back injury, which made me not as valuable as I wanted to be in this tournament. I could jump all the time, but I couldn't sit down or any other down periods, cause then it would make my back really stiff, which would hurt a lot when going up and playing again. But when I first started to play again, it went away somewhat, but I couldn't really bend over to catch a ball or anything like that. But despite that, we ended up winning the whole tournament without even losing one single game, which was really fun. Then my family also visited me. My mother and my little sister came over one weekend. That was really fun. We went out and ate, and we went to skate park and other different things. As I opened the gate for them, they backed in, and they also delivered some of my birthday presents and some other goods that I brought with them. Here is me and my little sister in the skate park. She's going to ride down the ramp, going down and up the other side. And we also will see some progress on that later on, because we were here 2 days. This is the second day. Second day I started skateboarding again, which was quite rough, but still went all right. Here I'm going down the ramp. That was really scary. I felt like I would break every single bone in my body, but I did it anyway because I was being recorded and I had to. As you saw there, she went up perfectly fine this time. And here is me and my family out eating. And other than that, we were just being chill home where I lived, and she also borrowed my PC to play some games. Here is a life raft, which we will go in and out again later during this exercise. This day we were going to jump into the water with life suits. While putting on the suit, I felt how there was still water in the left arm. And as a standard, putting on the suit should only take 1 to 2 minutes, while for the first time for me it took about 5 minutes, which you will see a time lapse of right here. While we were going to jump in the water, it was about the height of 5 meters, I would say, 3 to 5 meters. Jumping in the water was quite exciting, and after that we had to swim to the life raft, which you saw in the background putting putting down. Other than the wet arm, I was completely dry and warm, and it was impossible for one to sink. If you stood up in the water, you would feel how your legs would get squeezed and surrounded by water on the outside and make it harder to move, as if you would be in a vacuum, actually. It was so comfortable in the water that I didn't want to get out. I just wanted to lay there and just take a nap. That is how comfortable it was in these suits. As well as jumping down this height, as you got down you would just feel yourself being dragged up again by the sheer force of flotation. And yeah, that was basically this exercise. Sadly, it was quite a short time we could be in the water just falling asleep. After that we went in again and took off the suits, and then we went over to the different lifeboats that they had. This is a free-falling lifeboat, which you'll see me going into soon. This one is dropped by gravity, and when it will fall down into the water. The average height of these can be between 10 to 40 minutes depending on the ships, since it is placed actor of the ship. Here is the inside. You will of course have your back towards the water when dropping down, so your back can take as much of the impact as possible, not to damage any other parts of your body. Going up was quite difficult, but since you had the steps, it was making it a bit easier. And this drop is about 5 meters actually, and this is an opportunity we will have in the third year of this course, which they will give you the option to either just stand by or be in this lifeboat when it's getting dropped. And for me, I'm of course definitely going to be in it, just for the experience and the content of having it done. After that we put this lifeboat down to the water, and we went in it and drove it around. And I think this is the last commentary I'm gonna do on this video, so just enjoy the rest of the video with some music and see what else I have done.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together, it's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you